Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. This is Uma Pratap from India.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone who would like to introduce themselves? We still have more time.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am Rakshita. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for conducting the classes and sharing the nectar of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita through these Zoom meetings. So humble. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Rakshita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Is this the first time you are joining, Mataji?
I mean, I joined for not many times, Mataji. Not more than 10 classes, but whenever if I get the chance, I try to join and listen to the classes, Mataji.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Please keep joining. We have various speakers for the morning Bhagavatam session and for evening, for mid-morning session, Chaitanya Bhagavat, and throughout we have the classes. So please keep joining and give us your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from India, Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services, and thank you so much for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And thank you, Mataji, so much. You just took very nice service for me. Very, very nice. I am so grateful to you, Mataji.
Mataji,
I'm not able to speak too much. My voice is gone.
Oh, take care, Mataji. Take care. Take care. Prayers for you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Take care and take rest, Mataji.
Sure, Mataji.
So I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti conference call. So now we will be moving on to our next session, that is Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before moving to the session, I would like to read Prabhupada's quote today. Today is 26th October from Nairobi, October 26, 1975. Prabhupada has written, I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. It doesn't matter in different forms. He does not say that I am the father only of the white, not of the black. Hari Bol. So very nice quote. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining the call. So today our next session is Chaitanya Bhagavata, which will be given by His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu. Arjun Sakha Prabhu is there on the call, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we welcome you to the call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association this morning. And we are waiting for your enlightening class on Chaitanya Bhagavata. So today, Prabhuji will be taking from Chaitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda, 5th chapter from verses 19 to 26. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Over to you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for very kindly joining. And thank you so much, Mataji, for that warm introduction. Dear devotees, let us go ahead and read the verses for today. As Mataji mentioned, this is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya khanda, chapter 5, text 19 to 26. That is the section. Text number 19. Sarva gane chalita thakura vishwambhara Rama Krishna vedijena Gokula kinkara. As Nityananda and Vishwambhara went along with their associates it appeared that Balaram and Krishna were surrounded by the residents of Gokul. Text 20. Pravishta haila matra Srivasa mandire Bada Krishna nanda haila sabara sharire. As soon as they entered the house of Srivas, everyone was filled with ecstatic love for Krishna. Text 21. कपाट पडिल तबे प्रभुर आज्ञाय आप्त गण विना आर जाइते ना पाए. The Lord ordered that the main entrance be closed so that no one other than intimate associates could enter. On entering Srivas' house, Sri Gaura and Nityananda ordered that the outside door be closed. Then no one could enter Srivas's house other than the persons who were surrendered to the Lord. All of Sri Gaurasundar's functions would begin with Kirtan. That is why the door was closed to check those who are ineligible to see the function. Text 22. कीर्तन करिते यज्ञ करिला ठाकुर उठिला कीर्तन ध्वनि बाह्य गेला दूर. The Lord gave the instruction to begin kirtan. As the sound of that kirtan arose, everyone lost external consciousness. Prior to Vyasa Puja, Sri Gaurasundar ordered the devotees to begin kirtan. No one was allowed to enter Vyasa Puja arena except intimate servants of the Lord. When on the Lord's instruction, the devotees began to loudly chant, they lost their various external perception and thoughts. Text 23. Vyasa Puja Adivasa Ullasa Kirtana Tui Prabhu Nache Vedi Gaya Bhakta Gana. In the ecstatic Adhivas Kirtan prior to Vyasa Puja, the two lords danced as the devotees surrounding them sang. The devotees were jubilant in anticipation of the Vyasa Puja ceremony. Sri Gaura and Nityananda both began to dance in the Kirtan. The devotees surrounded the lords and expressed their joy through the performance of Kirtan. Text number 24. Chira Deva Sera Preme Chaitanya Tai Dohe Doha Dhyana Kari Nache Ekathai. Chaitanya and Nityananda are bound by eternal love. They meditated on each other as they danced together. Both Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda are externally bound to each other by love. Each one meditated on the other as they madly danced together. The Supreme Lord engaged in meditating on his servant, and the devotee engaged in meditating on his worshipable Lord. The word dhyana in this verse does not refer to material thoughts. The word dhyana here refers to spiritual absorption. In other words, absorption totally devoid of gross material thoughts and full of spiritual pleasure. Just as the material senses acquire the subtle status of an object from the gross world in order to serve the mind, which is the basis of the senses, and thus convert its gross status into subtle one, giving up gross and subtle material enjoyment with the desire for only eternal spiritual objects causes the descent of variegated spiritual pleasure in this world. Material pleasure derived from this world is completely distinct from a spiritual pleasure that has descended. Text 25. Hunkara karya keha keha vagarjana keha murcha jaye keha karaye krandana. Someone roared loudly and someone cried out. Someone fell unconscious while someone else wept. When spiritual consciousness awakens in the heart of the conditioned souls, the symptom of ecstatic love manifests in his body. He then loses worldly conception and displays symptoms of variegated spiritual pleasure in this world. In order to exhibit this deal, Sri Gaurasundar, who's the Lord of the 14 worlds and who's beyond the jurisdiction of material nature, danced with ecstatic love in the company of his associates. It is completely unreasonable to attribute the state of material conditioning on the transcendental pastimes that Brajendra Nandan personally manifests in this world in order to remove the conditioned soul's darkness of ignorance. When conditioned souls are situated on the path of sadhana, they cannot understand the glorious transcendental nature of Lord's pastimes. Text number 26. Kampa sweda pulakashru ananda muchayata ishwarera vikara kahite janikata. I am unable to describe the Lord's transformations of love, such as shivering, perspiring, hair standing on end, crying, and falling unconscious in ecstasy. Sachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all dear devotees for once again very kindly joining for this
Hare
discussion
Krishna,
of
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. For very kindly joining in this discussion of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. We see this is a section when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with his associates, is there in the house of his most celebrated devotee, that is Srivas. No, no need of any introduction. We all are very well aware of who Srivas is, one of the most prominent personalities of the Panchatattva. But before we get into this discussion, let us chant the Mangalacharan prayers. Let us seek auspiciousness from our spiritual superiors like Srila Prabhupada, and then get started in our today's discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Dhyananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swame Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Anandalila Maya Vigrahaya Hema Divya Chhavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityanandamaham Navami Sarvanandakaram Param Harinama Devam Avadhuta Shiromani. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Samasta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we see in the Mangalacharan prayers itself, when we chant, and even in fact when we start our chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we started with a mantra that where we offer our obeisances, we offer our head at the lotus feet of Panchatattva. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas, Adi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Often quoted verse and often uh, chanted. It's a verse that is by heart for everyone, irrespective of whether one is initiated, one is not initiated, one is doing discover yourself or whatever it is. Everyone has this verse by heart. And in a nutshell, we see of the five personalities, the three personalities, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Acharya are Vishnu Tattvas. Then you have a personality by the name Gadadhar, who is none other than Srimati Radharani, Ladini Shakti. And then you have an interesting personality by the name Srivas. Now Srivas is Bhakta, he is devotee. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He is the Bhakta. Srivas is the Bhakta. He is the devotee. Very beautiful it is explained that who is the Srivas? Prabhupada would say, this Srivas is our Narada Muni. As Narada Muni is going from one place to another place, chanting the names of Radha and Krishna. In the Indian daily soaps, you will find Narada Muni is shown as someone who chants Narayana, Narayana. But according to our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, what does he chant? He chants the name of Radha and Krishna. Narad Muni Bojaye Vina Radhika Ramana Name. He chants the name of Radha and Krishna. So Narad Muni got to know that Krishna has descended down to this world. It was the time of Dwapar, and he got to know Krishna has descended. So Narad Muni was going from place to place to place to place to find out where Krishna is. But he couldn't find Krishna. He knew Krishna has appeared, but he couldn't see Krishna. And he was going from place to place, but not able to find Krishna. So he just sat down at one place, begging the Lord that, my dear Lord, I know you have descended, but why is it that these eyes are not able to see your form? And hearing his prayers, Lord Shiva as Gopeshwar Mahadev appeared in front of him. And Gopeshwar Mahadev blessed him and gave him prayers and mantras that he can chant. He said, you chant these mantras, and by the power of these mantras, you will be able to see Krishna, just like I was able to see Krishna. I was a Lord Shiva. I was not given entrance to the Ras Mandal, but somehow I changed my attire, I changed my form, I changed my name, and somehow I got entrance. So you also chant these mantras. Who knows, maybe you will also get entrance. Narada Muni chanted these mantras. And as he was chanting these mantras, a very young girl came in front of Narada Muni. After chanting these mantras for a good amount of time, a young girl came in front of Narada Muni. Who was this young girl? Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi came in front of Narada Muni. And how wonderfully Vrinda Devi has been described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Gangeya champeya tarit vinindi roche pravaha snapitatma brinde bandho ka bandho dviti devya vaso vinde namaste charanaravindam. Bandhu ka bandhu dviti devya vaso vinde namaste charanaravindam. That Vrinda Devi, who has been profusely glorified by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Vrinda Devi whom we worship every day in the morning, came in front of Narada Muni. And Vrinda Devi was sent by her mother, saying that there is a Baba sitting here who is standing for a very long time. Seems like he has not eaten anything. So, my dear Vrinde, can you go and ask him if he wants something to eat? Vrinda Devi, as a young girl, she went to Narada Muni. And she said, Baba, do you want something? Seems like you have not eaten for many days. Just like Srimati Radharani, as a young Kishori girl, came to our acharyas. They came to Rupa Goswami. And then later, our Sanatan Goswami chastised Rupa Goswami. Are you here to worship Srimati Radharani, or are you here to take service from Srimati Radharani? Likewise, here Vrinda Devi had come. And Narad Muni said, well, first of all, how do you know that I have not eaten anything for so many days? She said, oh, I don't know. My mother said, I'm a young girl. I just play around. My mother said you have not eaten. So she wanted to check whether you wanted something to eat. Sripad Narada Muni said, well, I don't want anything to eat, but there is something I'm looking out for. Can you help? Seems like you are a local. Can you help? And Vrinda Devi said, what is it about? Narada Muni said, I'm looking for Sham. I'm looking for Shamasundar Shri Krishna. Do you know where he is? Do you know where I can find? Vrinda Devi said, that's it? That's it? That's your problem? He said, what do you mean that's a big problem? I'm doing tapasya for such a long time. I'm not able to see Sham. And he was asking the right person. Why? Because Vrinda Devi is Krishna Jivani. Her life is Krishna. We are running behind Krishna, crying out Krishna, Krishna. But Tulasi or Vrinda Devi, her life is Krishna. She's on the side of Krishna. She's Krishna Jivani. If there's anyone who can grant Krishna in our life, that is Vrinda Devi. This is why Prabhupada would always encourage in the morning there should be worship of Tulasi. This is why they always said during Kartik Vrat also, one of the Vrat that devotees take is to consciously offer water to Tulasi every single day if we are not doing it on other days. Consciously offer water to Tulasi. And if we do not have Tulasi, well, we can worship the photo of Vrinda Devi that we get in our ISKCON temples. Worshipping Tulasi during the month of Kartik, very, very important. So Narad Muni said, well, I'm looking for Shamasundar Shri Krishna. So Vrinda Devi said, well, I will take you. And she took our Shripad Narad Muni to Kusum Sarovar in Vrindavan Dham. See, Kusum Sarovar is filled with Kusum flowers. Actually, it is explained they are not flowers. It is explained they are the Braja Gopis. These flowers are the Braja Gopis. Throughout the day, they're flowers, and at night they become the Braja Gopis. Just like in Nidhivan and Sevakud, you find you have the trees that are kind of intertwined. So externally, they are the trees, but actually, they are the Braja Gopis. It is explained that these trees of Nidhivan and Sevakunj, the reason they're intertwined is because that is the pose in which the Braja Gopis stop their dancing at night. So the pose in which they stop their dancing at night, that is the pose the trees take. And the next night, again, they start dancing from there. So if you consciously observe one particular tree of Nidhivan or Sevakunj, you will find that every day the form changes because these trees are the dancing Braja Gopis. And here we find likewise Kusum Sarovar, these Kusum flowers are actually the Braja Gopis. And during the day, they're just flowers. So Vrinda Devi said, well, this is Kusum Sarovar. And as Narad Muni was seeing the waters of Kusum Sarovar, our Vrinda Devi pushed him from behind. And before Narad Muni could understand anything, now Narad Muni had jumped into the waters of Kusum Sarovar and he came out as Naradi Gopi. Form completely changed, name completely changed, the identity has been completely changed. Narad Muni had an identity crisis. Earlier, he was in a male form, he was a brahmachari, and now he is in a female form with a completely different name. He looked at Vrinda Devi and said, "Hey, what did you do? You changed the complete form." Vrinda Devi said, "You wanted to see Shama Sundar Shri Krishna." He said, "Yes, I want to see." Oh, she said yes. Now because it is Naradi Gopi. So the form was changed. She said, "Yes, I want to see Shama Sundar Shri Krishna." And now Vrinda Devi held the hand of Naradi Gopi and took her to Radha Kund, to the Sangam of Radha Kund and Shama Kund. And Vrinda Devi said, "Now you wait here, you will see Radha and Krishna." And sure enough, he saw Radha and Krishna. Naradi Gopi, she saw Radha and Krishna coming in front of him. But as he saw them coming in front of him, he wanted to jump into those pastimes to serve, but Narad Muni was not able to do that. He was able to see the pastimes, but he was not able to enter them. He was not able to jump into those pastimes and serve. Narad Muni was feeling very, very desperate. He looked at Vrinda Devi and said, "What is this? I'm able to see the pastimes. I'm not able to jump into them. I'm not able to serve Radha and Krishna." Vrinda Devi said, "You remember what you asked me? You said you wanted to see the pastimes. I am giving you what you want. You wanted to see the pastimes, you're getting to see the pastimes. You never said you wanted to enter the pastimes and serve." Narad Muni said, "Well, what am I supposed to do now to enter the pastimes?" Shastra explains there are two forms of siddhis. One is Swarup Siddhi, one is Vastu Siddhi. Swarup Siddhi means when there is realization of one's form. And then there is Vastu Siddhi, when after realizing the form, you can enter the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. It is explained even for Sripad Aindra Prabhu. First, there was Swarup Siddhi. There was revelation of the form, but after that, he was desperate and he was hankering. Why? Because the Vastu Siddhi was taking time. He was able to see the pastimes, he was not able to enter the pastimes. Then Sripad Aindra Prabhu, like a small child, was beating his leg on the floor. That why is it that I'm able to only see the pastimes but not able to enter the pastimes? Hmm? And eventually, by his bhajan, he was able to do that also. He was able to enter the pastimes and serve Radha and Krishna. So likewise for Narada Muni, there was no Swarup Siddhi, there was no Vastu Siddhi. He looked at Vrinda Devi and said, "What am I supposed to do? I want to enter these pastimes. I want to serve Radha and Krishna." Srila Narottam Das Thakur in his Prem Bhakti Chandrika explains, "Yugala charana sebe nirantarai bhavi anurage thakibo sadaya sadhane bhavibo jaha siddha deha pavotaha ragapate rai se upay ragapate rai se upay." Srila Narottam Das Thakur explains that Yugala charana sevi nirantarai bhavi, that if the desire is there to constantly serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, Yugal Charan, if this is the bhav, this is the mood that we are cultivating. But how should the mood be cultivated? Anurage, with anurag, with deep love and attachment. And constantly, Anurag thaki bosadaya sadhane bhavi jaha. The mood that we cultivate in our sadhana, when we sit down to chant, the mood that we cultivate. Why are we chanting? Are we just chanting to get our rounds done? Are we just chanting to pull the counter beats? If that is the mood in which we are chanting, then sure enough, our japa will get done. But if we are chanting with the mood of getting pure devotional service, Srila Radhanath Maharaj in one class was explaining, if the mood is to attain pure devotional service, we have to focus. We have to focus. Because in so many lifetimes, we have aspired for material assets and we have seen, we have been frustrated, we have not got it, and we are lamenting and we have been completely frustrated. So when we sit down for chanting, is our goal only to finish rounds? That finishing of rounds, anyway, we are going to get done. Anyway, those 16 are going to get done. If the mood is only to pull the counter beats down and down and down and down, you're not going to get much. Yes, maybe some purification of the heart will happen because we are chanting the holy name. But if you are not consciously putting an effort, voluntarily putting an effort to strive for pure devotional service, then it is going to take a very long time. As Kaviraj Goswami also says, that one can chant and here for lifetimes together. But if he is not cultivating pure devotional service, if the desire is not there to cultivate pure devotional service, if the desire is not there to even chant purely, then it is very difficult to attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Then it is very difficult to attain the goal of human existence in this one lifetime. So Prem Bhakti Chandrika explains. Anurag Sathaki Bosadaya Sadhane Bhavi Bojaha Siddha Deha Pavataha. If that is the bhav with which we cultivate, then Siddha Deha Pavataha. Then one gets the fruit, that is Siddha Deha, their eternal form. Raga Pathe Rai Se Upai. This is the path of Rag. This is the mood. This is the path of Rag Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti. So here was our Sripad Narada Muni. Now the form was completely changed. But now he was not able to enter the pastimes. This burning desire of not being able to enter the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is what brought him down as Srivas Thakur. Because as Narada Muni, he was able to see the pastimes, but he was not able to enter. That burning desire, how can I enter the Lord's pastimes, is what brought him down as Srivas, as the devotee. And now as Srivas, he was completely able to serve the Supreme Lord. It is explained our Srivas appeared 30 years before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a place called Sri Hatta. He had 4 brothers, Srivas, Srivas Pandit, Sri Ram Pandit, Srinidhi, and Sripati, 4 brothers. So Srivas is Narada Muni, and Sri Ram Pandit is Parvata Muni. Parvata Muni and Narada Muni are the best friends. So the best friends are again now coming down as brothers to serve the Supreme Lord. And who is the wife of Srivas? Malini Devi. Now, who is Malini Devi in Krishna Leela? You see the associates of Krishna are coming down as Gaur Parshad. It is the same personalities, but the feminine counterparts are now coming as male to serve the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord, who is also feminine, is now coming down as a male. Srimati Radharani is now coming down as Sri Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So the associates, female associates, are also coming down as the male associates. But who is the wife of Srivas? Malini Devi. But Malini Devi in Krishna Leela is Ambika. Ambika is the nurse who has also fed Sri Krishna. Mother Yashoda has a few nurses. Ambika is one. Putana is another. We see in the 3rd canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam, there it's explained that who is she? Dhatri. She's the nurse. She's like the mother. So likewise, Ambika, who feeds Krishna, has now appeared as Malini Devi, the wife of Srivas, 30 years before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in a place called Sri Hatta. Now, when Srivas gets to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to appear, they relocate. They change their place and now they come to Yogpit. Because the devotee wants to be where the Lord is present. A genuine devotee is someone who wants to be where the Lord is there, where his devotees are present. Devotees don't want to be in a place where it's deserted, where there are no devotees. It's like taking a fish out of water. Just like a fish, when he is there in the water, he is happy. He doesn't want anything. He just wants to be in the water. That's it. Similarly, devotees want to be in the blue waters of devotee association. They want to be the blue waters of Krishna consciousness. We don't want anything else. We just want to be around devotees, because all perfection can be attained just by being around devotees. Just by being around sincere devotees. Srila Jiva Goswami gives this example. They're just like you have a crystal and you keep a rose next to the crystal. What happens? The crystal becomes red in complexion. The crystal is not red, but because of the close proximity to the rose, now the crystal has become red. Similarly, our heart is very, very hard like that crystal. But being in the association of soft lotus or rose-like devotees, that mood that they are cultivating will very soon get transformed into our heart. Very soon it will come to our hard, crystal-like heart. And now we can also experience the sweetness of Krishna consciousness. This is what Vritrasura also prays in his prayers that, my dear Lord, lifetime after lifetime, aham hare tava padaekamola dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuya manasmareta supater gunamste grinhitava karma karotu kaya nanaka prashtham na cha parameshtham na sarvabhaumam narasadhipatyam न योग सिद्धिरपुनर्भवम् समञ्जतत्व विरह्य कांक्षी अजात पक्ष इव मातरं खग स्तन्यं यथा वत्सरताक्षुदर्थ प्रियं प्रियैवाभ्युषिता विषन्ना मनोरविन्द्राक्षद दीक्षते त्वम्. And then Dhritarashtra keeps praying that way. In essence, in nutshell, he just prays that, my dear Lord, may lifetime after lifetime I have devotional service. May lifetime after lifetime I be with your devotees. My dear Lord, I'm not asking you for anything. Just the association of devotees is all that I'm asking. This is what Kulashekara Alvar also prays in his prayers. Mukunda Murdna Pranipatte Yache Bhavantame Kantami Yantamartam Avismriti Swacharanaravinde Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasada. That, my dear Lord, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, may my mind never forget you, my Lord. I have paid a very, very heavy price in forgetting you for so many lifetimes. भगवान, भीख मांगता हूं आपके सामने, कृपा याचना करता हूं, हे प्रभु, after this, if I have to take a life, you please at least give me this benediction that I'm always around devotees. I never forget devotees. My dear Lord, so many lifetimes I've spent away from you, but now I want to be around your devotees. All of the devotees are praying that throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srivas Thakur shifts his base, and now he comes to Yogpeeth because he knows that our Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu is going to appear. And sure enough, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as Nimai in the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, Srivas was present at that time. In fact, it is explained, he saw Nimai from the time Nimai started crawling. He saw the baby talks and the baby walks of Nimai. He nourished, he maintained Nimai. But after that, he had a problem with Nimai. Because now as Nimai was growing up, he was into debates. He was into arguments. When the big time pastime of Keshav Kashmiri happened, where Keshav Kashmiri was smashed into pieces, he was a Digvijay Pandit. He was a Digvijay Pandit. Now we have heard the story of Keshav Kashmiri, but Keshav Kashmiri was not someone who had just studied probably Sanskrit for 6 months. It's not that Keshav Kashmiri had done some crash course in Sanskrit. He was a Digvijay Pandit. He could compose verses left, right, and center. And that Keshav Kashmiri was so proficient. Nimai crushed him. He powdered him completely. All the Navadvipasis, all the Nadiyavasis were very, very happy with Nimai, except one person, Srivas. Srivas chastised Nimai for that. When Nimai went to Srivas, Srivas said, what is this? Nimai said, what happened? He said, human life is meant for devotional service. It is meant for samsiddhir haritoshanam. It's meant for pleasing Krishna. But look at you. You are using your intelligence and your intellect to debate, to argue. You're using your valuable time for all these things. Nimai, when will you change? कब वो दिन आएगा जब आपके जीवन में हम परिवर्तन देखेंगे? When will that day come when you will change? Nimai looked at Srivas and said, my dear Srivas, if you bless me, then that day will sure enough come in my life. Srivas said, my blessings are always there for you. But my dear Nimai, we want to see the transformed version of Nimai where he's chanting and dancing. He's not into debates. He's not into arguments. And Srivas blessed Nimai. And it was this blessing of Srivas coupled with the blessing of Gadadhar Pandit, because Gadadhar also had the same problem. Only two people had problem when Nimai chastised or Nimai crushed Keshav Kashmir. It was Gadadhar and it was Srivas. Srivas blessed Nimai. That, my dear Nimai, may you get the right devotee association and may you transform and get addicted to this path of Krishna consciousness. You devotees, prayers and the blessings of devotees have a very, very strong role in our lives. Few days back, we celebrated Vijayadashami, Dasera. And we see in the pastimes of Sri Ram, you have a crow by the name Jayanta, who is Indra's son. And long story short, we know as to how Indra was having wrong intentions towards Maya Sita. And Sri Ram understood that, and he takes a blade of grass and throws that blade of grass as an arrow towards Jayanta. And Jayanta runs here and there. He goes to his father Indra. Indra says, well, did you ask me before doing what you did? Because Indra is also no less. Govardhan Leela, this Leela, that Leela, Vritrasu. He is also a Mahajan. Wherever Vaishnava Aparadha is there, Indra's name will naturally come. And now his son Jayanta is pretty much doing the same thing. So Indra said, don't come to me. Jayanta flew everywhere, going to different personalities, and no one was able to save him. Finally, he came back to Maya Sita and fell at the feet of Maya Sita. My dear Sita, please forgive me. Maya Sita forgave Jayanta. But Sri Ram, who had already released that arrow in the form of grass, he said, well, I cannot take it back. Now this arrow has to hit somewhere. So it hit the eye of Jayanta. And this is why we see traditionally, whenever we see crows, it almost feels as if the crow has only one eye. Actually, it has two eyes, but at one point you can never see the two eyes of the crow. You can only see one eye. And this is because Sri Ram threw the arrow and it hit the eye of the crow and practically, quote unquote, made him blind. So you see only one eye. And this is also a rule in Sanskrit that they use called as Kaka Akshari Nyaya. But the point here is, how did Jayanta get his life back? How was his life spared? His life was spared by the blessings, by the mercy of Sita Devi, who was a devotee. Another example, when Surpanaka came, she had wicked intentions. But Sri Ram didn't kill Surpanaka, but he killed Ravana. Now, if Sri Ram is very, very compassionate, why is it that one person is spared, the sister is spared, and the brother is killed? Why Bhed Bhav like this? Our Acharyas explain the only reason is because when Ravana was killed, Sita was not present at that time. But when Surpanaka pastime happened, Sita was present. And it is because of the merciful nature of Sita Devi that Sri Ram spared the life of Surpanaka. But Lakshman, he did an ENT surgery. He cut the nose of Surpanaka. But it is only because of the merciful nature of Sita Devi that both personalities, their lives were spared, whether it is Jayanta or it is Surpanaka in this case. So the power of the blessings of devotees is very, very powerful. And it is this blessing, this power of blessing of Srivas that caused a transformation in the life of Nimai. Now when he comes back, he's completely changed. He's no longer that argumentative Nimai. He's no longer that Nimai who's into debates, but now he's Bhavuk Nimai. Now Bhav is just flowing in his heart. He's crying. His teeth is chattering. Hair is standing on end. And after he comes back, the house of Srivas becomes the arena where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would dance. For one full year, Mahaprabhu practically at night tempted Arangetram. For one full year at night. During the day also they would have kirtans. It's not that during the day Mahaprabhu had a 9 to 5 job. During the day also he would have kirtans. And at night time, it escalated completely. And not many people were allowed. Only those who were very, very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most dearest. So for one full year, these kirtans happened at the house of Srivas. The Mahaprakash Leela happened at the house of Srivas. The 21 hours of madness that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated during Mahaprakash, all this happened in the presence of Srivas. In fact, the first revelation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being Bhagavan was also given to Srivas. Mahaprabhu in the form of 400 Vishnu showed the form to our Srivas. So the first revelation of who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is was also to our Srivas. While this dancing was going on during Mahaprakash Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reminded Srivas that, my dear Srivas, do you remember one time you had gone to the lecture of Devananda Pandit and you wanted to hear Devananda Pandit's class? And our Srivas was sitting behind and Devananda Pandit was giving class. And Devananda Pandit, as the name suggests, was a big time scholar. He would quote big verses and a lot of people would come for his classes. Very popular. And now as Srivas was hearing that class sitting behind, Srivas was crying. In transcendental love, Srivas was crying. And now the students of Devananda Pandit who saw Srivas crying, for them, this was a disturbance. They were thinking, hey, our Gurudev is giving such a nice, wonderful class and this person is crying, he's disturbing us. They picked up Srivas and threw him out of the assembly. They manhandled Srivas. And Devananda Pandit, who was giving that class, did not speak a word. He did not correct his students. He did not say, well, the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is to cry for Krishna, which Srivas was practically doing. But here the students picked up and manhandled and threw Devananda Pandit out. They threw Srivas out and Devananda Pandit didn't speak a word. This episode happened before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down to this world, he practically came with a vengeance against Devananda Pandit. Just imagine, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful. But that most merciful Lord, who's the most compassionate, is giving love of Godhead to everyone, but is having anger and vengeance against you. Why? Because you committed a Vaishnava aparadh against Srivas. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during Mahaprakash Leela is reminding Srivas about all these episodes. Srivas that night, he came home after the episode of Devananda Pandit. He came home and started reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. He didn't hold any grudge against Devananda Pandit. Sripad Ayendra Prabhu would say, if you have grudge, you don't get grudge. If you have grudge, you don't get grudge. So he didn't hold any grudge against Devananda Pandit. And he came home and he was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, my dear Srivas, when you came home and you were reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, the happiness that you derived in your heart, how did you get that happiness? It is because I jumped into your heart, Srivas. I, the Supreme Lord, I jumped into your heart. And because I was present in your heart, this is why you got the happiness. This is how you derived the happiness by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reminding Srivas of all these episodes. Another time when Mahaprabhu was dancing in the house of Srivas, the son of Srivas died. The son of Srivas died. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and Srivas did not tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The ladies inside are lamenting, they're crying. Srivas went inside and said, shh, no crying. If by your crying, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, and if his ecstasy comes down, I can never forgive myself. I will go into the waters of Ganga and I will give up my life. Dear devotees, let us pause and think from the standpoint of Srivas. His son has died. It's not a small thing. His son has died, but he is wanting to keep that to the side so that the ecstasy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu at Srivas Angan doesn't come down. After one point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped and looked at Srivas and said, why is it that I'm not experiencing the same ecstasy today? Has something happened? Srivas said, no, my dear Lord, everything's picture perfect. You please continue dancing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again continued dancing. But the devotees had to stop Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, the son of Srivas has died in the next room. Srivas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Srivas and said, why didn't you tell me? Your son has died. Why didn't you tell me? Srivas said, my dear Lord, your dancing here is more important. I didn't want to become an impediment to get your ecstasies down, my dear Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went inside, and just by the glance and touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Srivas came back to life. But when the son came back to life, he looked at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, in so many lifetimes I have died. In so many lifetimes I have given up my body. But in all the previous lifetimes, I had material thoughts while giving up my body. But in this lifetime, I am giving up my body, looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, looking at the moon-like face of Gauranga Mahaprabhu at Srivas Angan, which is only for selected devotees. My dear Lord, I was one of those selected devotees. I am happy. I am happy to die, my dear Lord, because with this thought I am leaving this world. My dear Lord, I am happy. And that son again left this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally did the last rites. And he told Srivas, my dear Srivas, from this day onwards, I am your son. My dear Srivas, I am your son from this day. And this is not the first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this to someone. When Mahaprabhu would travel, he had a servant by the name Govinda Ghosh. Now, it's very interesting. One time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finished honoring his prasadam, Govinda Ghosh went out to search for Haritaki. So Haritaki is basically, like you see, you have soft that aids in digestion. So likewise, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains Mahaprabhu would have Haritaki. And Govinda Ghosh would go from house to beg for Haritaki. So Mahaprabhu one day finished honoring his prasad, and for good 30 minutes he was waiting because there was no Haritaki. And finally Govinda Ghosh came and gave it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu had. The next day Mahaprabhu again honored prasadam. And this time Govinda Ghosh immediately gave Haritaki. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yesterday you took such a long time, today you're giving it immediately. What's the mystery? What's the Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam? How was it that yesterday you took time, but today you have it immediately? He said, my dear Lord, I just collected extra so that I don't have to make you wait. When I went to beg yesterday, I collected extra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are having the mood of a grahastha to collect and maintain. This is not the mood of a brahmachari. You are having the mood of a grahastha to collect and maintain. I have an instruction for you. Get married. Govinda said, my dear Lord, I am doing it for you. I am collecting it for you. Why are you throwing me out from your service? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, get married. You are collecting like a grahastha, get married. Even though Govinda Ghosh did not want, Mahaprabhu instructed him to get married, and Govinda Ghosh got married. And then he had a son from that marriage. Govinda Ghosh had a personal deity by the name Gopinath. And every day he would offer prasadam to Gopinath. Please hear this. Every day he would offer prasadam to Gopinath. And one day, Govinda Ghosh had to go for a preaching program. The only reason actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Govinda Ghosh change ashrams is because if he's constantly traveling with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he cannot preach because constantly he will be in the service of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But as a Grahastha, he went from village to village to village to village to preach. And Mahaprabhu liked this more. So external was Haritaki, but internally Mahaprabhu wanted Govinda Ghosh to preach. So one time when Govinda Ghosh went out for preaching, he told his son, will you offer to Gopinath? I made this bhoga, will you offer to Gopinath? The son said, okay. And the son went and kept it in front of Gopinath and said, Gopinath, eat. Gopinath would not, Gopinath would not move. He said, Gopinath, please eat. And it is explained that the son of Govinda Ghosh also picked up a stick. He picked up a stick and looked at Gopinath and said, please eat, please eat. Gopinath said, that's not how it works. Now the story is very parallel to Mukunda and Raghunandan. Exactly parallel. There also you have the same deity. You had the son as Raghunandan, father as Mukunda. And here also the story is exactly similar. Govinda Ghosh and his son. Gopinath said, my dear son, this is not how offering works. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. I can have it through my eyes, through my hands, through my ears. I don't have to come down. The son said, I don't know all these philosophy. I know I eat with my hand to mouth. This is how I eat. I want you also to eat this way. If you don't, my father Govinda Ghosh will chastise me. Gopinath said, I will eat, but you promise you will not say this to anyone. If you say this to anyone, you will die. The son said, yes, yes, I will not say it to anyone. Don't worry. Gopinath came down and in front of the child, imagine your deity coming down the altar and personally sitting down cross-legged and eating what you have prepared and then going back to the altar and then standing as Krishna. The boy saw everything. Half the plate was done. Then he got it back. Govinda Ghosh saw. He said, hey, what is this? I told you to offer. What did you go inside and do? He said, well, I offered. Gopinath ate everything. And as soon as this child, in innocence, said this to Govinda Ghosh, that son died. Govinda Ghosh lamented that he forced his son to speak the truth, because of which the son died. That night, Govinda Ghosh got a dream. Gopinath came in the dream of Govinda Ghosh and said, from today, I am your son. Govinda Ghosh said, my dear Lord, you are my master and I am the servant. Let us not flip positions. Let us not change positions. You be the master, I be the servant. Govinda Ghosh was instructed by Gopinath. Gopinath said, my dear Govinda Ghosh, I am your son. Do you accept it or not? Govinda Ghosh said, why are you forcing me, my dear Lord? Why are you forcing me? Gopinath said, I am your son from this day. And whatever needs you have, I will take care of the son. Govinda Ghosh said, yes, my dear Lord, if that is your desire, so be it. It is explained even after Govinda Ghosh left this world. The day that Govinda Ghosh left this world, Gopinath was dressed very flamboyant. He was dressed very opulently. But after Govinda Ghosh left and when they went back into the altar, mysteriously, Gopinath was wearing white dress. Just like a son wears white dress when his father has left this world. Gopinath was completely white in dress, like a son. And Gopinath did the final rites for Govinda Ghosh. It is explained till this date, it is Gopinath who does the final rites for Govinda Ghosh. So it's not the only time that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become the son for someone. He became the son for Govinda Ghosh, and here he became the son for Srivas. Looking at the love and devotion of Srivas. Dear devotees, Krishna is not attracted to anything. He is simply attracted to the sincerity of the heart. Name bhaktas chaturvedi mad bhaktas swapacha priyaha. He explains that one may be a chaturvedi, one may know all the four Vedas, but he is not my bhakta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. If he is not cultivating pure devotional service, if he is not chanting sincerely, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Name bhaktas chaturvedi, he is not my devotee. On the flip side, mad bhakta swapacha priya. There may be a devotee born in a dog-eater family. But if he is practicing the pure devotional service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, he is more dear to my heart than anyone else. Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya jati shastra japat tapas apranasya dehasya ranjanam mandanam loka ranjanam. Very beautiful it is explained. Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya, if someone doesn't have bhakti, like Srivas, like Govinda Ghosh, Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya, he may be doing four things. He may have aristocratic birth, jati, shastra, one may know lot of shastra, japa, lot of japa, and tapa, lot of austerities. But if there is no bhakti in the heart and all these things are simply mechanically done, the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya gives an example. Apranasya dehasya, it is like putting ornaments to a dead body. What is the use? If there is no bhakti and we are doing these four things, there's no sincerity in the heart. If we are just pulling the counter beats because we want to finish our chanting, not with the aim that we want to cultivate pure devotional service, it is apranasya dehasya. It's like offering ornaments to a dead body. Mandanam loka ranjanam. Hari Bhakti Sudodaya explains, it will astonish the crowd outside. It will not attract Krishna. लोग रिझ जाएंगे, लोग बोलेंगे वाह 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 कैसा भक्त है, बहुत बड़ा भक्त है. but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu मानो देखेंगे भी नहीं. क्यों? Because भक्ति है ही नहीं. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya. Why is it that Mahaprabhu was ready to become the son? Why is it that he was ready to become the son for Govinda Ghosh and Srivas? Because there was bhakti in the heart. And because there was bhakti in the heart, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his legs in the form of dancing in the courtyard of Srivas Thakur, which practically he didn't do anywhere. Just like Prabhupada spent years in Radha Damodar as a preparation to launch himself in America for preaching. Likewise, our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did some preparation, 1 year of night preparation. You see, like students, those who are doing engineering or whatever, oftentimes we see, I know for myself also, like throughout the semester we don't study. And then 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights before exam, वो पूरा book पढ़ लेंगे. And somehow we have the knack of passing also. Studies will be full night. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like that. All night he's studying. All night he's getting into the mood. All night he's crying, only to launch himself for the mega mass Sankirtan that he has to spread in different places. When our Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu went to Prayag to take darshan of Bindu Madhav temple, this time when I came to India, I had the good fortune of seeing Bindu Madhav temple in Prayag, the very first time. In fact, it is the local devotees were saying that the place where Bindu Madhav temple was there during Mahaprabhu's time is now actually a mosque. The whole thing has been brought down and that place is now a mosque, and Bindu Madhav deity has been brought to another place. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to Bindu Madhav temple and he danced there for hours and hours and hours together. And our Rupa Goswami and Anupam had come there to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Rupa Goswami had kept 10,000 gold coins for Sanatan Goswami. And he wrote a letter for Sripad Sanatan Goswami. I have kept 10,000 gold coins for you. You do whatever it takes, just escape and meet us. We are going to Prayag to see Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And when they came to Prayag, Mahaprabhu was dancing like anything. Crying, and dancing. All the preparation that he practically did at the house of Srivas was now seen publicly. Was seen publicly by the whole world. Keha hase, keha nache, keha kande gai. Krishna, Krishna, boli keha gada gadi jai. Ganga Jamuna Prayag Nari Ladu Baite Prabhu Dubaila Krishna Premera Banyaite. Viraj Goswami so beautifully explains. Dear devotees, let this be the one of the words that we take for Kartik to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is the sweetest of the sweet. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if all the books are lost, but Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, we have not lost anything. There is no book like Chaitanya Charitamrita. For the Gaudiyas, the only desire should be that while we are leaving this world, we have the book of Chaitanya Charitamrita to our heart. And chanting the verses of Kaviraj Goswami, we leave this world. These, what Kaviraj Goswami has given, what Vrindavan Das Thakur has given, what Lochan Das Thakur has given in the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best sweet. We cannot have a better sweet than Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And here is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is explained. When he was chanting, some were dancing, some were crying, some were rolling on the ground. Keha hase, some were laughing. In transcendental happiness, not that they were mocking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Keha hase, keha nache, keha kande, keha gaye. Different activities, different devotees are doing. Some are rolling on the ground because they have never seen such a thing. Imagine Radha and Krishna in one form along with their associates are chanting and dancing. How can we hold ourselves? We can't even hold ourselves in a kirtan mela. We immediately get up and we start dancing. Now imagine if that kirtan is being led by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We will go crazy. We will go mad. It is Srimati Radharani leading the kirtan. Can we even imagine Srimati Radharani leading a kirtan? Goswami says, Ganga, Jamuna, Prayag, Narila, Dubai. In Prayag, we see you have Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati confluence. Kaviraj Goswami says, Ganga and Yamuna could not drown Prayag, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, drowned the whole of Prayag. Prabhu Dubai la Krishna Preme Ravanyayate. How did he drown? He drowned everyone in Krishna Prem. How wonderful. And this is all that he did at the house of Srivas. For 1 full year, he danced like this at the house of Srivas. So we can only imagine if this is what happened at Prayag and some other places, what are the intimate pastimes that would have happened at Srivasanga? Kaviraj Goswami and Vrindavan Das Thakur, of course, do not explain in detail to every instance. They just cherry pick and give pastimes. But we can imagine 365 days, 365 different pastimes. Our heart cannot even hold. Our heart cannot even hold. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this way was chanting and dancing from place to place. And no one understood what is going on in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu except Rupa Goswami. It was our Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Hridaya Shakti Sancharila Sarva Tattva Nirupane Praveena Karila. Our Rupa Goswami jumped into the heart of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, extracted all the tattvas, all the essence, and then he wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Upadeshamrita, so that we understand the mood of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, so that we can also have the same destination as the other associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we learn what character is. Srivas is a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. But look at how much respect Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Srivas. Mahaprabhu could have said, hey, I am Bhagavan, I know everything, I don't have to learn from you. I am senior to you in Bhakti or whatever. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't say any of those things. He respected Srivas. This is character. This is character. Character is when we have every opportunity to glorify ourselves, but still we do not. Still we keep ourselves very, very down. This is charitra. This is character. You see in the pastimes of Sri Ram that when Sri Ram was going to the forest, all the citizens made a garland for Sri Ram as an offering. But when Sri Ram was now in exile and Bharat became the king, and Sri Ram was now a citizen, Sri Ram made a garland for Bharat. Earlier, the citizens made a garland, and now Sri Ram, through his character, through his charitra, he is now making garland for Bharat. Likewise, Krishna. He washes the feet of Sudama. He drinks the Charanamrita of Sudama. This is character. Even though they are Bhagavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he is God, he is respecting his devotee so much. One time, one person came to Prabhupada and said, why is Krishna dancing with the wives of others? What character is this? Why is he dancing with the wives of others? Srila Prabhupada said, everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna says, Aham Sarvasva Prabhu, everything belongs to Krishna, everything emanates from Krishna, which means your wife is also Krishna's property. I am asking you a question, why are you dancing with Krishna's wife? That person, he didn't know what to say and he never came back. Srila Prabhupada smashed him immediately. Srila Prabhupada said, everything belongs to Krishna, including your wife. So I am asking you, why are you dancing with Krishna's wife? Well, it is true. It makes perfect sense. Everything belongs to Krishna. So Krishna's charitra, Krishna's character is perfect. So is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. And he gives full respect to Srivas. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, this was a thunderbolt to the heart of Srivas. Because now the kirtans practically stopped and Mahaprabhu wanted to travel more to South India to meet Ramananda Rai, to go to Jagannath Puri and so many other places. So when he took sannyas, and after he took sannyas, when he was coming back to Navadvip Dham, at that time, our Srivas again changed his house. Now he went to Kumarhatta. So earlier he was in Srihatta, then he came near Yogpit, and then he again changed his position to Kumarhatta. and he was living there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the house of Srivas. It is there where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Vasudev Datta and said, Vasudev Datta is my property. I am his man. Whatever Vasudev Datta wants from me, he can ask me to do. I am completely sold at the lotus feet of Vasudev Datta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. All this in the house of Srivas. And then he looked at Srivas and said, Srivas, I see you have a family. You have brothers. You have a wife. But I don't see you work. You're only reading Bhagavatam every day. You're only chanting holy name. What is the secret? Where are you getting all the amenities from? How is it that you're maintaining your family? Srivas looked at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and did. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is this? What does these three claps mean? I am asking you a question, Srivas. You have a family. How do you maintain yourself? You don't work. Srivas said. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what does this mean? What does this three claps even mean? Srivas said, my dear Lord, if in the three claps, Krishna doesn't provide what I want, then I will tie a rock around my neck and I will jump into the Ganga and give up my life. If in the three claps Krishna doesn't provide, I will give up my life. And my dear Lord, there has never been a point till now that Krishna has not provided for me. So why should I even work? My dear Lord, He is providing everything for me. Why should I even work? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this. Mahaprabhu embraced Srivas. This was after the Srivas Sangam Kirtans, when Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas. Mahaprabhu embraced Srivas and said, Srivas, you have understood the essence of scriptures. Ananyas chintayanto vam ye jana pariyupasate desham nityabhyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyam. Srivas, you have understood that Krishna provides what we lack and He preserves what we have. He maintains what we have. You have understood the essence. You are simply spending your time to read Bhagavatam, chant the holy name, and Krishna is maintaining you. My dear Srivas, I promise you. Now look at the promise. It's a very dangerous promise that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Srivas, I promise you, in the future, even if Lakshmi has to take a bowl and go house to beg, I promise that my Srivas will never have to beg ever again. There will be a time, it's possible that Lakshmi will have to beg. We're not talking about a normal devotee, we're talking about Lakshmi. We're talking about goddess of fortune. Mahaprabhu says there may be a day goddess of fortune may have to beg. My devotee Srivas will never beg. I guarantee, I promise this to you, Srivas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraces Srivas. How wonderful. Srivas Thakur is that celebrated personality who teaches by example that it is Krishna's duty to maintain. He maintains everyone. Srivas Thakur was not an engineer. Srivas Thakur was not from Stanford University. Srivas Thakur was not working in some Facebook. He was not making $250,000 a year. He didn't have anything. Even from an education standpoint, he didn't have much. But Krishna maintained. Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj was an illiterate. He couldn't even write his name. Krishna maintained. The Braja Gopis were illiterate. Krishna maintained. It is Krishna's duty to maintain his devotees. And time and again it is seen Krishna maintains his devotees. Those who put their hand up and depend fully on Krishna, Krishna maintains. Dainya Atma Nivedana Gopritve Varan Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palan. Goptirtve Varanam Tatha. Krishna maintains and Krishna nourishes everyone, not just Srivas. It's not an episode that happened just 500 years back. It is practical even now. There are so many examples of devotees who practically do not have much, but Krishna maintains and nourishes them. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. He gives us what we lack and He maintains what we have. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here. and offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Srivas Thakur, whose house became the arena for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing party. It became the place where Mahaprabhu did Arangetram for 1 full year. And then, like Prabhupada, launched himself to preach the Sankirtan movement. Having said this, I stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srivas Thakur ki jai. Chaitanya Bhagavad Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanur Bronx. What a wonderful class, Prabhuji. Very nice explanation starting from Ramayan about the mercy of the devotees' prayers. So, a perfect example is Sita Mata. So, where in her presence, Lord Ram never killed any demon. And from there, you moved on to Chaitanya Bhagavata, to Srivas Pandit, and Govinda Ghosh. So very nice pastimes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving us this all these pastimes. And as you said, yeah, there are many more pastimes which where our acharyas have just handpicked little few pastimes and given to us. But for me, I'm saying it's means if I keep on repeatedly hearing all these pastimes, only I can remember it. So for these few pastimes itself, if it is like this, then if they have given all the pastimes, as you said, for 365 days for a lifetime, every day, each pastime, then I don't know where I will be. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for again reminding us of all these pastimes. Thank you. So we have many raised hands. We'll go for the question and answers. Radhe Govinda, Prabhuji or Mataji? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful lecture. I really like your lecture, Prabhuji. My question was that sometimes, Prabhuji, we in our mind, being a conditioned soul, we think ill about devotees, just in our mind. So, but we don't discuss it with other people. Just we try to fade it away or move it away, but Prabhuji, sometimes it stays in our mind because we are hurt. So, Prabhuji, is it an aparad, or if it is an aparad, then how can we Prabhuji, इसको मतलब कैसे ठीक कर सकते हैं? How can we
So in Kali Yuga, we see that the good thing is mental offenses are not considered. In the previous ages, even mental offenses would be considered. But in Kali Yuga, only those that are vocalized, that we speak out, is considered as an aparad. So good thing is, even if there is something mentally, it's not considered an offense, but still, in the highest sense, that is also wrong. To think wrong, we cannot justify saying that we thought or we criticize the devotee in our mind, and we cannot justify saying, well, it's Kali Yuga, Krishna will not consider offenses. Maybe in the sadhak state, it may not matter much, but as we are progressing, even mental offenses are something that need to be taken care of. Because those who are really advanced will not criticize anyone. They see everyone as the part and parcel of Krishna. And how is it that if we see everyone as the part and parcel of Krishna, we respect one and criticize the other? So in the sadhak stage, mental offenses are not considered in Kali Yuga. But it is something that can be worked on as we progress on this path of bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, how can we work on that? Like we can pray, or else what can we do?
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say, when these problems of Vaishnava aparad would come in the Gaudiya Math, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that if we have criticized a devotee, we can get into the habit of thinking 3 good qualities of that devotee. Every time we criticize, let us get into the habit of remembering 3 good qualities. It's not just only 3. It can start with 3. Not that 3 bola to 3 hi karna hai. You can remember more good qualities also. Our Kali Yuga problem is we can remember 100 bad qualities, but we fail to remember even 3 good qualities of another devotee. And we back it up by saying, अरे प्रभु जी उनमें कुछ है ही नहीं अच्छा, मतलब 2-4 है प्रभु जी, उससे ज्यादा नहीं है. लेकिन यदि दोष देखना है तो मानो गंगा जमुना के समान दोष हमारे श्रीमुख से बहता है. तो this is something that we can do. When we criticize, we can voluntarily think of 3 good qualities and slowly channel our mind wherein we get into the habit that we remember only good qualities of devotee. It can start with 3, it can go to 5, 7, 10, etc. Then there will be a time when every devotee will see our mind will start looking out for good qualities because mind is being trained every single day. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would do that. When 2 devotees in the Gaudiya Math would have confusions or critical nature. So getting into the habit of remembering some good quality of the devotee and slowly transitioning and channeling our mind to remember only good. Like that.
Okay,
Hare
okay.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful answer. Prabhuji, I have one more short question. Can I ask? If it is
Mataji,
okay?
we have so many hand raised. Also, we have chat questions.
Okay.
So I think we can restrict with the questions. Maybe for each devotee, one question is fine.
Okay, okay,
Sorry
okay.
for
Thank you,
that.
Mataji. Okay, okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for
Thank you.
understanding. Akarshit
Thank you, Mataji.
Bhagavata Prabhuji. Akarshit Bhagavata Prabhuji. Are you there?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, all glories to assembled devotees. I am very from the past month. I want to see you, and I am not dancing with. I can't explain. Seeing you, Vaishnava like you, I am so. So, Prabhuji, my question is actually when I saw your lecture, nectar of verses, nectar of devotions flow from your mouth, and I want also to chant those verses, but I don't know. And when you say that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the real nectar and we have to relish it, but I am so disqualified. I have read only the first canto of Bhagavata and completed it. I want to learn about. I don't know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, who are its associates, how I could know about them. I'm not so disqualified. Please help me, Prabhuji. Please help me.
The qualification that we need for studying Chaitanya Charitamrita is the desire that I want to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just this desire that I want to know about Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the qualification. So when we are saying we are not qualified, actually we are qualified because the heart wants to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's the only qualification. It's only desire. It's only desire. That's the primary fundamental qualification. So rather than flipping through the pages, if we are not aware of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and we want to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are so many classes online where we'll find pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from different speakers in our ISKCON. Even if you just go to YouTube or ISKCON Desiratory or SoundCloud, we will find there's so many pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like for example, what we discussed today about Srivas, it technically doesn't require much background of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is completely independent of the life of Srivas. So like that, you have so many personalities like Srivas, Gadadhar, etc., about whom we can hear from speakers, whether it is disciples of Prabhupada, whether Prabhupada himself or the next generation. And if we just go online, we can find more content to hear for the whole month of Kartik. So all that we require, the only qualification is desire. And if the desire is there, then nothing else can stop us. That's the fundamental, primary, and the most important qualification. The desire to learn verses, the desire to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the desire to see Navadvip Dham, the desire to speak about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, etc. It's primarily desire. But desire we come into this world, but desire we exit this world. It's all a question of desire. It all boils down to this one word, desire. So because you have desire, you definitely have the qualification to learn about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and study the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And qualification wise, even I don't have qualification because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in Srivasa, and what qualification do I have? But it is Prabhupada's compassion that he has given these literatures to all of us, so that by studying the scripture, we can build our qualification. So we can go online through ISKCON Desiratory or YouTube or SoundCloud, etc. And we can see for the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are many classes that will come up that we can hear for the whole month of Kartik. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Prabhuji, so much. I'm so thankful to in this month of Kartik as Satyavat Muni says, Tatha Prema Bhakti Svakame Prayachat Namokshe Graho Mati Tatamudra. May the mercy of Vaishnava fall on kukur like me, and I will get the prema bhakti. Please pray for me, and I will also pray for you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you
Then
so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Really done with now.
Thank you.
Dandavat.
Prabhu. Janvi Mataji, please go ahead. Janvi Mataji, can you unmute?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances and bless me for love for chanting, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had a problem like I live in a 3 sharing room and my roommates are Jenny. So my silent chanting is very painful for them. So please tell me how can I chant and not get angry at them. So please, Prabhuji.
Silent chanting is painful for them, you said? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji?
Is
I think she has unmuted. She has muted. Unmuted. Yeah. Mataji, unmute.
Yes, Prabhuji. It is very painful for them. And when I came to this hostel, I arranged a corner for myself where I pasted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and several other pictures of Krishna. So I can't even chant in the toilet because with so much love, I arranged this corner. So it's very painful for them, Prabhuji. Please tell me.
so well. There are a few things that we can do, and of course, this is a challenge that most people face. Um, Having also stayed with roommates when I came here to the US, um, people with different mindsets are there who are very atheistic and not conducive to Krishna consciousness. Dear devotees, oftentimes we take it for granted what Krishna has given us. When he gives us devotee association, we take it for granted. But we have examples wherein Krishna doesn't provide the right atmosphere. And then still there are devotees like this who are crying to chant the holy name. So here are a few things that come to my mind that we can, if there is an option where we can change the room and get into another dormitory where people are a little conducive, because not everyone is going to be atheistic. There are going to be people who are going to be, if not Krishna conscious, at least little devotional, who would not be critical of our chanting. If we can change a room, that is the best. If that is not an option, if somehow due to our university or whatever we are not able to change that, if there is a place in the campus, because I remember when I was doing a master's outside my home, there was like a small garden. And I would go there and I would chant, because in my home also my roommates were into meat eating and alcohol, etc. So I would go out in the garden and I would chant. If that's an option, that's something we can do. Either the best would be to change the dormitory, to get into another room with other girls. If there's an option where we can get into a private room, that would be the best. If not, sharing with someone, change a room and share with someone who are little better off devotionally. If that's not the case, and if we think they're going to rag us or mock us, then we can probably chant outside if there's like a small garden outside the campus where people don't know us. If that's also a problem, if they're going to mock us and criticize us for holding the bead bag, then what we can do is the last option could be the counter. That's something that we can hold in our hands, and that is something that people will not probably even recognize. We can hold that in our hand, and we don't have to let people know that we are chanting. We see many devotees have counters in their hand, and when they're not on their beads, they have counters. That is something that we can do. But the best would be, if possible, to change the dormitory, speaking to our university or whoever is the assigned authority, and making sure we either change to another shared accommodation or have another place, or go outside in the park or outside the campus where we can chant. Or the last would be to have a counter um, with which we can chant.
Hare Krishna. I think Mataji is having something to say.
I think you may have to unmute her, Mataji.
Yeah, I have unmuted. I've asked you to unmute. Mataji, you can unmute.
Yes, Prabhuji, the problem with chanting outside is I have arranged a corner like I didn't know they will have that problem. So on the wall I pasted some pictures of Krishna and the Hare Krishna Mahamantri sticker. So I would have to take all of that off. And just 1 month ago I shifted into this room and they are forcing me to vacate.
Well,
And Prabhuji, even when I tried to take classes, like just right now, I was attending your classes, they were loudly playing some music. They were not wearing their earphones. And these are not meat eaters, they are Jain people. They eat sattvic food. So, and in the month of Kartik, it is not recommended to criticize anyone, be it a devotee or non devotee. So, I just don't know what to do. Should I just
so
remove all the pictures and again paste them in some other room?
we don't have to criticize them because, first of all, they are living the lifestyle that they like, or they are living the lifestyle that they appreciate. And this is how pretty much the whole world is listening to film songs, watching movies, Netflix, etc. They don't know the importance of Karthik like the way we know. So there's nothing much we can expect from them. It's not that when we are going to get into a room, we are going to have Saraswati Thakur and Gaurakshadas Babaji Maharaj as our roommates. It is going to be people of Kali who are into meat eating, who are into intoxication. And I remember when I was also a roommate, it was the same. In that fridge, in America, you people have been pork, even beef, and many of the devotees have lived that way because there's no option to come out of it. But all that I can say is from my experience as living as a roommate is if we stick to our principles, we don't have to downgrade ourselves. We don't have even hearing of classes. We don't have to put in speaker. We don't have to put it like a public show. We can hear it. We can put earphones and we can hear it that way. As far as the photos are concerned, we don't have to remove them. It's just 1 month. Initial 1 month may be a challenge. It's probably Krishna is testing us that, well, I am giving you this situation. Will you still worship me after all this? And believe me, in another 1.5, 2, 3 months, things will better. Things will better. In school, my brother and I, we would put tilak and we had some tough time. But those same people, in fact, when I went to Chicago and I went to New Jersey, some people messaged me on Instagram and they were my school and college friends who were into intoxication and meat eating and alcohol. And they said that, well, we are watching your videos now and it seems like you're the same person. You were wearing a tilak before, you're still wearing a tilak. The only difference is now you're also giving class. So can we come to your programs? And they came to the Chicago programs. They came to New Jersey programs. They were into alcohol, into meat eating. In fact, they're still into that. But just when people say that there is consistency, people accept you. When there is no consistency, that's when people take it as an opportunity to criticize you and pull your leg down. If we just hang around, if we just stick to the process, it's just 1 month. Let another 2 months go by. It may be difficult. It was difficult for Prabhupada also. For Prabhupada also, staying with his wife was difficult. Staying with his children were difficult. He just somehow managed. And because he went through that phase, he passed through the storms of that life. Krishna gave him that he didn't give anyone else. Likewise, if we just hang around, just stick to the process, just keep chanting, just keep hearing. And you can put it in your ears. While going to campus or whatever, you can put it in your ears. So others might think, well, you're hearing some film song or whatever. You can keep hearing some nice Vaishnava song or some nice class. Just keep doing it for 2-3 months. When they see consistency, they will start respecting you. And consistency is where results come. Consistency is where respect also comes. Not that we run behind respect, but outside world works such that when there is consistency, they will respect you and then they will leave you behind. Then those same people who are criticizing you, we have seen it. We have all seen it. Those same people who are criticizing you will now come back to you and ask you, hey, can you teach me also? What is the secret that you're always happy? Why is it that you're able to give up movies so easily? Why is it that you're able to give up film songs so easily? And what is the happiness that you are getting that you are ready to give up these lower tastes? These same people will come back. But all that we have to do is one thing: consistency. Just be consistent. Let us not preach at this point, because preaching to them at this point is like preaching to the four walls. They are not going to take it. Let us just follow our path. Let us just be consistent and chant in the 4 ways that we said, whichever way works best. Hear classes in your earphone. Try to change DOM if that's possible, and let us not remove photos right away. Because if you fall to their mocking straight away, then they are going to use every opportunity to pull your leg down. It's going to start with photos. Tomorrow it will transition to a beadbag. Then it will transition to something else. Then there's no way we can hold on to our principles. But if they see, in spite of all this, you are still resolute. You are still doing it. Every single day you're doing it. They see that consistency. They're going to accept you. It is time tested. It is experiencing. For all the devotees here on the call, we've all seen at one point, probably our own family members criticized us. Our own family members mocked at us. Hey, kya hai? Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. But now we see, when they see consistency, those same family members respect us. Now they respect that, oh, this person doesn't eat onion garlic. Oh, he doesn't eat meat. He doesn't drink alcohol or whatever. He chants. He puts a tikka on his forehead, whatever. The same people respect. Why? Because there is consistency. If we are just consistent, things will change. And time is the best healer. Time heals everything. The reason that Krishna is putting us through situations is so that we come out more stronger. He put Prahlad through tough situations. He put Dhruva through tough situations. He put Rukmini through tough situations only so that their glories can be extolled. Likewise, those devotees whom Krishna likes, only those devotees he will put through tough situations. He will not put everyone in tough situations. Only if you are very, very dear to Krishna, he will put you in such a tough situation, wherein through that tough situation you come out victorious and you shine like molten gold. So just be consistent and depend on Krishna and pray to Krishna. If he can maintain and nourish Srivas, he can also maintain, nourish, and make you happy and keep your friends also happy. If he wants, anything is possible. Just depend on Krishna and just be consistent. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you a lot,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Prabhuji, you have time. We have more questions in the chat actually.
Maybe we can call it a day. It's already 9:30 here, Pacific,
Okay.
and it's a working day.
Okay, so I think one last question, one Mataji, Kushbu Mataji is saying that she has been trying to ask you something for past 2-3 classes. Is that okay, Prabhuji? We can ask.
Yes, what is the question?
She's saying that just 2 days back she got initiated and she needs your blessings and wanted to know that she didn't have any fire sacrifice during her initiation. So is it possible for her to go to Golok without fire sacrifice?
Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, fire sacrifice is external, iha bahya. The real thing is Sri Guru accepting the disciple. If Sri Guru has accepted the disciple, which he has given the beads and he has given a name, which means he has accepted. Remaining things are external, whether the fire is there or not. But still, to follow the protocol that Prabhupada has set up, if we do not have a fire sacrifice, we can sit in some other fire sacrifice. There will be some other diksha that will be going on in some other temple. We can go there and sit in that fire sacrifice and we can put the ahuti. So we will get the benefit. From a religious standpoint, that is something that we can do. But if Sri Guru is accepted, then everything is external. And we will, of course, go to Goloka. Going to Goloka doesn't depend on whether there is fire sacrifice or not. It depends on the sincerity of the heart. For so many Prabhupada disciples, they heard Gayatri Mantra through recorded tapes. Now, this is not the traditional way of giving Gayatri Mantras. Traditionally, Gayatri Mantra is always given in the ear. For Ayendra Prabhu, Prabhupada gave it in the tape. Prabhupada was there in some part of the world, Ayendra Prabhu somewhere else, he gave it in tape. Ayendra Prabhu heard the Gayatri Mantras in tape. He never heard it from Prabhupada. Now, can we say Ayendra Prabhu never got Krishna? Well, no, he got Krishna. So these things are external. Sri Guru accepting the disciple is first. Whether there is fire, whether it's a golden fire, red fire, this fire, these are externals. Of course, we can do the fire sacrifice, not denying that. If there's some other temple that's close by where Diksha is going on, we can go and sit and we will get the same benefit. But that is not an impediment to stop us from going to Golok Vrindavan. Like, for example, even Srila Guru Maharaj, when from 2017 or 2018, when he would give Diksha, even for me, Diksha was in the room. And then the fire sacrifice was there in the temple, where devotees who had taken Diksha from some other sannyasi and Srila Guru Maharaj all came together, and there was one combined fire sacrifice. But these are external. Sri Guru accepting the disciple is number one. If that has happened and beads are there, then everything is secondary. Iha bahya. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, as you said, even during COVID, I think post-COVID also, we had so many online initiations also. So
Correct.
thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us, and thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and association. So dear devotees, we apologize that we cannot take your questions this time. Maybe next time when Prabhuji comes, we can take all of your questions. Please join us regularly. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your time and association. Please come frequently on the call and give us this nectar. Hare Bol. So, devotees, let's pay obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpadripasya kripa sindhupe vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I think all has to unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Let's raise our
Krishna,
devotees and
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Mataji, thank you everyone.
so much.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare
Thank
Hare.
you so much, dear.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. We'll close the call for today. Hari Bol.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.